What's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Benjamin Todd, if I say so myself. Let me move the mic so you can actually hear me. Okay, hi. Welcome back to a Twin Flame check-in. It's really hot here today, so I'm just wearing a tank top, so you're just gonna deal with it. First thing you had fly out was the Two of Cups, so confirmation that this is about a soul journey, a soul connection, right? And I want to find out. I feel like today's been an energy of change. Like I know none of you have me on Snapchat, but on my Snapchat I posted earlier because the wind was so fucking strong today that it was shaking the entire building. Like, it was strong. So, and I recorded on my Snap. I was like, winds of change, because that's what it is. Like, so a lot of things have been changing today. Like, there's a big energy of itchy eyes from allergies, but there's a big energy of a major shift happening in the dynamic. Look at that. The Wheel of Fortune just popped out. So, confirmation that a new cycle is beginning. So let's see what that cycle is and what it entails and what that means for you. I'm in a little bit of a heightened energy because I don't drink sweet tea anymore, but I got a medium one because I don't really eat sugar anymore, and this has a lot of sugar in it. So I'm a little hyper. Blame the sweet tea, okay? I was feeling it. It's the first one I've had in many months. So, yeah. Alright. Also, just the energy today, it's like, yes, things are changing, but it also feels like there's an excitement in the air. Like, you can feel that something is coming. Like, something is different. Okay, let me pull a full spread here for you guys, okay? So we're going to do your side first. What a start. You got the Ten of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, the Empress. Makes sense. So if you're watching, you're probably in feminine energy. Six of Wands, Temperance. Back up a little bit. King of Cups. Itchy Eye. High Priestess. The Lovers. The Emperor. And the Seven of Cups. I take that back. So I feel like this collective is split in half. Half of you are in feminine energy watching this, and half of these viewers are actually going to be in masculine energy. Good for you. I applaud you, okay? As a fellow masculine currently, right? Because we both go through, each counterpart will go through stages where they're in one energy. Each counterpart will go through stages where they're either in one energy or the other. And right now, I've been in masculine energy for a while now. So, I commend you if you're also in masculine energy and you're watching this video. Kudos to you. Alright, let me pull the other side as I drop everything. I'm telling you that this is why I don't eat sugar. It's a little much. Wow. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Four of Cups, Two of Swords, Two of Wands, the Magician, Eight of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Look at that. You, viewer, are in the energy of everything I just explained in the beginning. Winds of change, anticipation, a little bit of excitement, right? And then this person over here that you're dealing with, they're in an energy of a little bit of the opposite. They're closing out a final karmic cycle with something. I got bit by a mosquito on my leg, sorry. It's fucking itchy. So, they're closing out a final cycle, and it has to do with at least two other people. So, these could be people close to them, it could be people that they're just around on a daily basis. Whatever it is, there's some sort of talk going on as well. Like, whoever these other people are that they're closing out a cycle with, I'm actually going to pull clarifiers here so I can really give you information on this. But whoever these people are, I feel like they're talking about you. not in a bad way, quite literally in a conversational way. So it seems like you got brought up, not intentionally, but they were just like, you know, when you're mid-conversation with someone and something comes up, it's like that. There's no intention behind it, but it does come up. And as I'm saying that, you got the Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Three of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. So it was not your person that brought you up. It was somebody else that they're speaking to, kind of brought you up. And it put them in an energy of feeling a little, like, not defensive, maybe a little bit, but mostly kind of, you know, when it's like something gets brought up that you just weren't expecting to hear, like you weren't expecting to hear. Like if you're in a conversation with somebody and they suddenly bring up your counterpart and they just don't expect it, like it was unexpected. So it's not that it was bad, but it definitely caught them off guard. Like, you know when you're just not expecting something and then it I'm telling you, it's hot down here today. When you're not expecting something, why am I losing my train of thought? I feel like this really threw this person off today. So whatever they heard about you today, it really like threw them for a loop. Like they just weren't completely sure like how to handle it. Not in a bad way, but they were just genuinely surprised to hear you brought up. You know what I mean? Okay, and as I'm saying that, you had the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Two of Cups. Again, remember that popped out before. It made them uncomfortable at first. Okay, at first it really threw them off. They're like, holy shit, I did not expect to hear that about my counterpart. But immediately after that, it was met with an energy of excitement. Like with that Ten of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Cups all came out together as I'm saying that, that is a complete shift of energy. That's somebody going, wow, like, number one, it's been a long time since they've heard your name brought up in conversation, and honestly, it was like refreshing. Shocking at first, but refreshing, right? And then afterwards, they were like, this is good. Like all the wheels, no pun intended, because they have the Wheel of Fortune, all the wheels started turning in their head, and they just started thinking about like, oh, maybe this like could work out. Like there was some, let me just pull clarifiers so I can get really into this. So I have to pull 32 cards right now, so give me a second. But you got King of Wands popping out. So it lit a fire in your person. And I want to find out why. What I think it is right now, from what I'm seeing, you being brought up, yeah, it sparked, like, if I can pick this up, the Page of Pentacles, it sparked an energy of renewal, like a newfound energy for this person when it comes to this situation. Maybe they had lost hope a little bit, because remember, they are going through an ending of a cycle over here. So Two of Cups, again, look at that. Keeps popping out. So I feel like they lost hope a little bit, and once this got brought up, it was almost, they took it as like a sign from the universe. They were like, wow, like maybe they had asked for a sign. Maybe they asked like, hey, have this person be suddenly brought up, or suddenly, you know, something happened regarding them in my life today, if it's meant to be or whatever. And maybe that's what the universe delivered them. So this person, it was like the sign that they were waiting for. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It feels like it was a sign that they were waiting for, that it's going to be the right time to reconnect with you. So I am now going to pull all the clarifiers. Oh wow, I actually need to pull 40 cards. Damn, because there's 10 on each side, and I do 2 clarifiers for each card. So actually, give me a second. That's going to take me a minute to pull all these. Damn, okay, so I just pulled all the clarifiers. Look how tiny this deck is now. Like I just said, I just pulled a lot of cards. Let me see if I can show you here real quick. I hope you can see that okay. Should be able to. Alright, so on the bottom you got the Six of Swords here before I put it down. On the bottom of the other deck, you got the Queen of Swords. So let me as I was pulling these clarifiers, Let me sip this tea, because that's literally what's happening on your person's half. Yeah, sorry, that was aggressive a little bit, T. Your side, you are actually picking up really well on your counterpart's energy. So how you think they're feeling right now is very accurate to how they're currently feeling and what they're dealing with and going through. So, sorry if you hate knuckle cracking. Oh, I might be able to do my shoulder. Wait. No. You see all my loose skin? I lost a lot of weight. And I have a lot of muscle now. But I still have, like, the loose skin. Look at that. Look how stretchy it is. Crazy, right? I digress. So maybe you just lost, like, weight and you have, like, loose skin as well. I don't care. It shows me how far I've come. Like, you know, my 15-year-old scars and shit. Point B, I digress. So maybe you're, maybe that's a synchronicity for you or a message for you, okay? Anyway, how you think your person is feeling is very accurate. So let me just take a breath, Ben. Simmer down. All right. You feel like your person is the cycle that they're closing out. You know that it's karmic. You can feel that it's karmic. Now remember, karmic doesn't necessarily mean romantic. It means people or situations in your life that you're still learning a lesson from. Okay? That's as simple as it gets. So these people that you feel like, this is what you think they're closing out a cycle with toxic people. Quote unquote toxic, because we don't see it as toxic while we're in it. While we're learning the lesson, we don't see it as toxic. It's only once we've learned the lesson and we've moved forward that we see it for being toxic, right? Because we then ascend past that vibration. It's not that we're better than anybody, but we healed the wounds and triggers that kept us in that vibration, right? And we move past that. That's what that means. So that's what you feel like this person is doing. And it's very accurate, all right? Now, before I get into their side, you also think, you have the Empress here. Let me see if I can show you. You have the Empress with the Devil. You have the Empress with the Devil and the Three of Pentacles. So this is you. This is you in Divine Feminine energy with the Empress. Now, this would be the karmic cycles that are closing out, okay? Three of Pentacles typically is about a work situation. So you could feel like this person is closing out karmic cycles at their job or at their business, you know, whatever it is, right? And you can see that they're speaking to two people here, and they have the same thing on their side, which I'll get to in a minute. So like I said, you're picking up very well on this energy. That's one thing, okay? So I'm gonna bounce back and forth from your energy to their energy, because a lot of what you are feeling is picking up on their energy. So everything I just said, excuse me, about what you think's going on. Now on this side, remember we mentioned before that there's two people here, at least like two significant people. I do feel like there's more than that, but two significant people. And with the Four of Cups here, having this conversation. And this is what I was mentioning before, that I feel like you got brought up in conversation. Now it's clarified by the Hanged Man and the Ace of Pentacles. So this, whoever mentioned you, whoever these two people are that they're speaking to, could also be other feminines. Doesn't have to be, but whoever these people are that they're speaking to, I'm going to pull one more before I say that, but it feels like they actually said about you that you are ready for like a new beginning in your life, but you're being very selective. So, I always get stuck. Oh, wrong deck. Let me pull, I want to pull one more. I want to see if it's what I think it is. And let's see. Before I say that, I want to make sure. Yep, that's what I thought. Ten of Pentacles. So they are telling your person that you are ready for your for a new beginning. Like, I feel like all of you definitely know these people. I feel like all of you have memories together with this 10 of Pentacles. This is the highest of the Pentacles suit, right? The 10, the completion. And it's the beautiful, long-lasting foundation, the family life, the community, right? So it's like you're ready for this, but with that Hanged Man, you're still holding back a little bit. Your mind is working, right? So maybe you have a little bit of fear left over still, like if this person were to come in or if you guys were to reconcile, you could still feel like, I swear there's like a hair on my face. I think that was a hair on my face. But as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Snapchat's cutoff. But you're ready for a new beginning. I feel like you may have spoken to these people recently, but if not, they definitely see you, whether it be social media, you run into these people, whatever it is, and they were just talking about you. They were speaking highly of you. They were like, I miss this person, like, remember this? You know how you just like in a conversation and certain things come up, you know what I mean? That's what happened, but they were speaking highly of you, and the things that they said were that you're ready for a new beginning, you know, you're focused on the beautiful things in your life, and you're waiting for that new opportunity. One second. There's something else. There's an emotion here that wants to come through. So this is an emotion deck. Prayer. So I feel like they mentioned that you're very grounded right now, and you're very focused on your connection to spirit. That's a beautiful thing. I'll put that over there. And then I want like one more. I want to really see why it was kind of like a shock to your person when this was initially brought up. Again, it led to beautiful energy, but I want to see expansion. Yeah, so you're ready to soar. Like your wings have unfolded and you're ready to fly, you know? And I feel like at first it made your person a little like nervous, you know what I mean? Like not defensive necessarily, because remember that 9 of Wands came out when we were talking about this. More in an energy of, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. And that makes sense because you have the Hanged Man. So you're like, I'm going to hang out for a minute and see how this goes. Maybe somebody brought up to you the idea of you seeing your person again. And maybe at first you were like, I don't know about that. Or maybe somebody invited you out somewhere where you would see your person and you're like, I don't know about that. There's good and bad with that, right? That could have been relayed to your person, not intentionally, but maybe whoever they were talking to was like, oh, I invited so-and-so to whatever, and maybe your person's going to be there, so immediately they got a little, like, nervous, you know what I mean? But then afterwards they got excited because they're like, if I do run into my counterpart, meaning you, maybe we could talk, or, like, maybe we could, you know, maybe that'd be good to, like, open the door back up, you know what I mean? Like, so they went from, whoa, and that's where you were like, whoa, hold on, to, well, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know, and like I said, but the wings of change that's been happening, especially today, like, today was fucking strong. That wind was crazy. So, with that going on, remember we mentioned earlier that you're entering into a new cycle. So, when you're coming into a new cycle, this is exactly what you want to see, okay? Because this means you're entering into an abundant cycle, and you know, not good, because there's no such thing as good and bad cycles. They're all good for you, but you know what I mean. This is going to be an enjoyable cycle. So I feel like this is a step, a good, very good step to coming back into communication with your person. Now, remember, what people think that, like, especially when they're in twin flame separation, they think that when you come back into contact with your counterpart, that it's poof, you're in union. Everything's good forever. There's nothing to worry about. Like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? But no, it's not how it works. You gotta start slow. You can't jump into the fucking deep end again, because that's what you did the first time and it exploded, right? You gotta take it slow and steady, build that foundation. So if you are coming back into communication with your person, which I definitely see here, and I'll get to that in a minute, when this happens, right? Because I feel like it's coming in very quickly, and I feel like much quicker than you are expecting. So when this comes in, remember that just because you're in communication with your person again doesn't mean you're rushed right into union, all right? When twin flames come back together, it's called reuniting, right? And union is after the reunion, okay? Those are two different things, reunion and then union. Those are two different things. So when you're entering reunion with your twin flame, you're reuniting with them after separation. There's a buffering period. This is where you both did a shit ton of healing while you were separate. You learned a lot. Of course, you missed your person. They missed you. You're happy to reconnect, right? But there's still that residual energy that you guys need to fix together this time, right? Because now you're in reunion, so you're able to work together as a team again like you used to. But this is where the true test happens, right? This will show you whether or not you are ready to move into twin flame union, okay? If you get through the reunion phase where you're buffering a little bit, right? So think of it this way. You meet your twin flame. Here's them, here's you, or vice versa, right? Doesn't matter. Pick a finger, pick a pair of fingers, okay? And it'll be you. So you're chilling. You're living your life. You don't know who your twin flame is. Let's just say you're facing this way. You're living your life, right? And then suddenly, wow, who's this person? They're fucking awesome. You're fucking awesome, right? You meet up, you meet each other, you meet your twin flame, you gravitate toward each other, and you're like, this is fucking awesome. And you get very, very close, all right? You're not, remember, these aren't touching yet. They're not in union, but they're very close. They feel this connection. The magnetism is like, poof. Like, you're just so fucking drawn to each other in every way, all right? Sexually, physically, emotionally, mentally, okay? Every way. And this is where you're at, right? You're like, wow, this is amazing. And then suddenly, like, let's say this is all the bullshit that you're dragging with you. You can't see it at first, because if I hold my fingers up, you can't see this right. But as you get closer, right, let me show you the physics. I don't know what's this shit. Well, actually, it's actually just point of view. But anyway, so as you get, this is you guys, as you get closer to your person, you start, actually, let me do it this way. As you get, closer to your person, the lighter becomes more visible. I know that's a weird analogy, like the way I was trying to do it with the camera, but basically, if I hold my finger up here, it looks fucking massive. But if I hold it back here, it's tiny, right? So the closer you get to your person, your baggage gets more visible, all right? So when you're here with your person, you guys are really close, you're starting to see all the baggage that each of you has brought with you into this connection, all right? Not intentionally. You already had it. But when you were living your life, you were doing your own fucking thing. When you guys were over here living your life, you already had baggage. And you just brought that with you because the pull was so strong to your person. You guys just melted into each other and became like one entity, right? That's what we do, right? You become inseparable to this person. I did the same thing with mine. You know what I mean? Inseparable. And then as your baggage is more visible, you start kind of looking past your person and being like, what's that? And they're like, the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And your baggage that you brought with you, which means your wounds, your triggers, your past experiences you haven't healed from, right? Your traumas, the things you've been through. They're going to start looking at that and being like, hey, you need, I'm pointing this out so you can fix it. You need to heal that. That's not good. And you're trying to do the same to them. Hey, you need to heal that. That's not good. But neither one of you is in a place where you're ready to fucking hear that. You're like, did you just look at my fucking baggage? Are you trying to tell me what I've been through my entire life? And you're trying to tell me that there's something wrong with me and I need to fix it? Are you fucking kidding me? That's the reaction, all right? And then look, this is where separation comes in. This is when you start triggering each other and you're just like bickering back and forth. You're like, what the fuck? This is the two of you, all right? You're bickering back and forth, and then you start to have more distance because you're like, all right, let me back up from this person a little bit. I don't like that they're telling me I have a lot of shit to do, and then I have a lot of things to heal. Like, I'm fucking fine, all right? I went my whole life without knowing this person, and they're going to try to tell me what to do now? No. Twin flames. We love it, right? So you start separating, and eventually it gets to a point where you become so triggered by the other person, you cannot be around them anymore. And this is when the separation comes in aggressively. This is the cutoff. This is the ghosting. This is the fucking axe, all right? Something comes in the middle of this connection and severs it, right? So when that happens, it's not actually severed, but you're you being around this person physically and you having communication with this person, that is cut off temporarily because spirit goes, okay, you have now activated enough in your person and your person has activated enough in you. Now both of you separate, chill the fuck out, and heal those things that your counterpart just pointed out to you, that your reflection just showed you. Because if you want to be with this person and you want to get back to this beautiful merging and this little gel blob that you guys became together, you need to heal this shit. And this time you can have union without all that baggage behind you. So that's what happens in separation, right? You start working on all this shit, all the baggage that you brought with you into the connection, and it affected the two of you. Same with them. The triggers, the wounds, the traumas, all of that, right? So that's what you're doing during separation. Now, after separation, you guys have been doing your own thing, right? You're in separation, you're chilling, you're just fucking vibing, and then something happens. There's a catalyst. Whether it's this person has enough courage to reach out, and they actually are the first to initiate contact, or maybe this one is. They're the first to initiate contact. Doesn't matter. There's a third option. There is somebody else whose spirit sent to intervene in this connection. It's possible that both of you have a lot of pride and a lot of ego. Okay, so, and you usually heal a lot of that during separation, but there is, you're still in separation, so clearly it's still there. So if spirit is like, okay, these two people have both wronged each other, they both hurt each other, so this one's going to be like, I'm not reaching out, you hurt me. And this one's going to be like, I'm not fucking reaching out, you hurt me. And they probably think each one hurt each other more, right? So they're probably not going to reach out, especially while in separation. Now, when spirit thinks that there's a reason to have somebody else intervene, that's an option. So maybe these people that they were speaking to is somebody spirit is sending to intervene. Kind of like a, hey, I'm going to throw this person into the mix to kind of remind these counterparts of their connection and of the beautiful moments they shared and how close they were and the beautiful times of their connection and how close they were. Like, spirit will send in a catalyst of change. That's what we're going to call it. That's what I call it. A catalyst of change during the separation. And those catalysts actually help accelerate you toward union. However, they are a test. All right? Spirit's not just going to send somebody in to do your journey for you. No. But when you do need help, right? Spirit will send you something. They'll send you a test. They're like, all right, if I'm spirit, I'm going to be like, I'm going to send in a catalyst to test the counterparts and see if they learned this lesson. So I'm going to send in this person to test, let's say, the feminine, for has this person healed their codependency issues. I'm going to send in a test for that. And let's see how they handle it. Now, the reason spirit is sending tests is a couple things. Number one, to see if you've learned your lesson. Number two, if you have learned that lesson, you're going to feel proud of yourself, first of all, because you've reacted in a way you've never reacted before. You've actually finally reacted in a healthy way, where you passed that test from spirit. Now, when you pass that test, spirit goes, all right, good. This person has learned their lesson. So now that's one less thing that's trailing behind you on the way to union, right? So spirit sends these catalysts to remind you of how much you actually have grown. Because if this person, if that catalyst catches up while drinking, I don't know what that said. I'm in a couple Discord groups for like my gaming stuff. Somebody could be catching up while drinking. Maybe that's what happened here. They went out for drinks with people and there was just conversation and you got brought up. Synchronicity. Anyway, spirit sends you this catalyst to show you how far you've healed and to test where your energy's at. So if you pass that test, you're going to be one step closer to your union. Now, let's say they send whoever is the masculine on the journey, predominantly, at least currently, right? Because we go back and forth. So whoever is currently a masculine energy, they're going to send them a message through a catalyst, which is probably the conversation they had with these people. That's a catalyst because it invokes an emotion. So when something evokes an emotion in you, it's a test. It's a catalyst for change. So they sent this to the masculine being like, okay, have you healed your ability to apologize or to be vulnerable, right? Because masculines have a big issue with showing any form of vulnerability, which includes apologizing and taking accountability. because they feel like taking accountability means that there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. It shows how fucking strong you are and how much you care about somebody when you can take accountability for what you've done wrong, right? So they're going to send a test to this masculine and be like, all right, we're going to have this group of people that you are with bring up your counterpart. And they're going to speak highly of your counterpart. How are you going to handle that, right? Are you going to react like, don't fucking mention that person around me. I don't want to hear anything about them. Or are you going to listen and be like, oh, that's great. Like, I'm glad you guys caught up. And then, you know, that's a good test for the masculines as well. So what I'm saying is they'll send you a catalyst. They're going to test you. And the reason this is done is because when you come back into reunion, I swear this story is really important, okay? It's part of the journey. That's what I'm trying to do, is help you guys learn the journey and how to navigate. So these catalysts are actually helping you go from over here, being in separation, right? You're going to start to slowly gravitate toward each other. But notice that they're not looking at each other. They don't even realize that they're coming very close. They don't even realize that they're getting closer to union because they're not focused on each other. Versus before, fucking magnets. That all you were doing was focusing on the other person, which is not healthy, right? It has to be a balance of your own life and this person, right? So now you two are in separation. You're only focused on your own life for the most part. So as these catalysts come in and you keep passing these energetic tests, proving that you are healing and you are doing your work, you get closer and closer to union, and you don't even fucking realize it. This is where you two are right now, okay? Pretty soon, you're starting to turn a little bit. You're like, why do I feel like this person is near me? It's like you can feel this person near your energy because you guys are right fucking here, but you're not looking at each other yet. You're not focused on the other person like you were because you're used to being in separation now, right? So you're starting to slowly turn toward each other, and you're like, oh, I think this person's kind of close to me, but you haven't fully turned yet. You're like, I feel like this person's really close to me. And you're starting to slowly gravitate like this. Now, when you reach about here, this is where reunion actually happens. The actual reunion. You see how fucking close you are to this? Very close. So when you come into reunion, meaning when this person comes back into contact with you in one shape, form, or another, it doesn't matter how it happens, right? So when Spirit says the time is now, the time is now. Whether somebody, you know, invites you to something and they happen to be there, or they reach out to you, or you reach out to them, whatever is divinely guided to happen, right? When you come back into reunion, this is where you guys start to buffer, right? Like we said before, this is, oh wow, I learned all of this stuff while I was gone. I learned all of this stuff while I was gone. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I see what you were saying before. I see what you were saying before. But at the same time, you're not quite here yet, right? You're not in union. So there are going to be moments where this person pisses you off, or they trigger you. Not intentionally, but remember, you guys are still healing a little bit. So, and you're going to piss and trigger them a little bit. Or piss them off and trigger them a little bit. So when that happens, instead of separating into, you know, separation again, this time you guys are going to go back and forth a little bit. You're going to kind of like buffer. You know what I mean? You're going to kind of like figure things out. Think of it like, I don't think I have that model down here anymore. Give me a second. I might have it. Damn, I don't know where I put it, but anyway, it was a model. It was the swinging pendulum balls, but they're magnetic, right? So they're swinging, and then they can also magnetize and all stick together. It's really cool, and it's really helpful for twin flames as like a visual representation. I'll do my best to explain it because I don't know where I put it. Anyway, so let's say you have like a pendulum. Let me use my necklace. Hold on. So let's say you have something swinging, right? This is a really good analogy. So you have something swinging, right? So let's just say this is you and your twin at the beginning of your union. You're kind of separate, and then you slowly come together like this. And look at this. You get really close together, right? Now, this is you guys at first. You're kind of swinging a little bit, maybe triggering each other a little bit, but it gets more intense, and you start really pissing each other off and pushing each other away, and eventually this gap gets bigger and bigger, and you become very separate like this. Now, you're always tied together. You can't break this bond, just like you can't break this necklace. But you see how much distance there is from this hand to this hand, right? But as you do this healing and you come back together, the momentum is able to swing again, and you guys start swinging. So when you're at this stage, reunion, when you guys are close together but you're not quite there yet, you're going back and forth, you're buffering a little bit, and then as it comes closer together, you see how the swinging slows down? You guys aren't triggering each other as much, you're coming back together, and then eventually you come completely together and you stop really swinging and you get that stillness. Now this is the two of you together, right? So, long story short, what I'm saying is when you come into this reunion stage, don't think it's union. It's a final test. If you guys can work together this time instead of just abandoning the other or completely running away from the situation because of your triggers like you did the first time you went into separation, right? Where you are right now. If you can work together, if when this person gets really triggered and they get really overwhelmed, give them space. Be like, I'm here for you, but if you need time alone, you take it, and I'll be here when you work through that. Or if you want my help to work through that, I'll be right here. Okay? You guys are gonna be a support for each other now. You're gonna be able to help each other, right? That's the point of the reunion. It's that buffering. It's learning each other all over again, but also being a partner and a support to each other without being blinded by your own triggers and your own pain. Like if this person was really triggered in the past, one of you would have taken it personally. So like if you were triggered, they would have taken it personally. Or if they were triggered, you would have taken it personally. You know what I mean? Like that, I can remember, hold on. For an example, right? As you guys know, I'm sure you might know, you might not. I had a really, really bad, I had a really tough life in general, but my childhood especially was really, really bad. And physical touch for me has always been a major problem. I have never let people touch me. I didn't even do hugs. I didn't do anything, like nothing. And my twin was the first person I had let even just casually touch me. I remember like I knew her for like a couple days and she already hugged me. And I was like, whoa, like she had no idea. I had never hugged anyone in like 6 years up to that point. That was the first time I'd even hugged somebody. So it was a huge thing for me. And she had no fucking idea. You know what I mean? But there was one day in particular where something had triggered me. I don't remember what it was, but it brought up something really bad from my childhood. Now, when I'm in a triggered state like that, no one can come near me. Like, no one can touch me because it makes me freak out. I had really bad physical and sexual abuse my entire life. Like, from 0 to 15. So, it was really bad. So, when I'm in those moments, no one can touch me, no one can come near me. Now, like I said, my twin was the only safe touch I had ever experienced. And I loved her affection. I loved her physical touch. I still do. But in that moment, I couldn't handle it. Because she came up to me. She wanted to comfort me, right? Obviously, because she's a caring person. I think she put her, put her hand on my shoulder or my back or something and was just doing this. Now, I freaked out for a second. I'm like, please don't touch me. And she took it, I felt so bad. She took it really personally, but I couldn't, it sent me into, flashbacks. I was like, please don't touch me right now. I can't do it. Now, I didn't mean it against her. I wanted her touch, but I couldn't handle it in the moment, right? I wanted nothing more than her comfort and, she was, we're each other's home as twins. I couldn't do it. And she took it really personally, and I remember feeling so bad, and it led to, a big argument. And I was like, I didn't know how to express myself. I'm like, it's not you. I can't, in those moments, I can't be touched, right? That's an example. So moving forward, when I get in those moments, it's different. So she'll be like, do you want, is it okay if I hug you? Is it okay if I touch me or something? If I'm in those moments. See how that progresses? You know what I mean? So just an example. Okay. So you don't do things intentionally to hurt your person. But their own wounding, she has wounding for rejection and abandonment really bad. I mean, I do too, but anyway, for hers. So me doing that, she felt very rejected. I was unsafe with her, or I didn't trust her, or that I was scared of her. I'm like, I'm never scared of you. She's used to people being afraid of her, and I'm like, you've never scared me, ever. Not once. So, but that was a wound for her. She felt like someone was afraid of her. You know what I mean? But I'm not at all. Anyway, so that's an example. So when you come into reunion, you guys are going to trigger each other in the same ways, but you have done so much individual healing that it helps a lot. Okay, this is going to be a long reading, so just settle in. How long I just spent talking about that, there's going to be even more that I'm getting through here. So my readings lately have been an hour. This is probably going to go closer to 2, I would say, because I'm not even close to done. So if you want to settle into this reading, welcome, okay? That's why I'm taking my time going on these explanations, because I know that I'm going to be doing a longer reading. We'll get through everything. But that is really important, okay? That is probably the most important part of this reading if this is as far as you watch. Reunion is not union. It's what comes before union. So if you guys can show each other that you can help each other and you can work with each other, you can be a team instead of just assuming that the other person is trying to hurt you when they're not at all. That's not at all what it is. They love you more than anything in the world, but their own triggers are battling your triggers, okay? Your wounding goes to war with each other, and that's the problem. That's how you go into separation. If you can look past your wounding, look past your wounds, and see that this person is not my past, this person is not people I've met before, this is my person, like, they understand me like no one else ever has, and no one else ever will. That's the point, right? You guys are the same in two different bodies. You are the same spirit reflected in two physical bodies, all right? So once you understand that, and you guys are able to work with each other and be a team, then you enter into union. And that's where then you're in a union with your twin flame. You know what I mean? You got to get through that reunion. You're on the cusp of reunion, okay? So that's why I'm putting this emphasis on this part of it, because if you want union with your twin flame, I do not want to see in the comments, fuck this person, they cheated on me, they did this, I don't want anything to do with them. This is not your reading. This is for the people that I like to see in the comments that say, we've been through so much in this journey, I've hurt them, they've hurt me, but we've apologized to each other, we're planning on working on it, we're going to go out and have breakfast, or we're going to go have coffee, or we're going to go do something, go to a restaurant, go see a movie, whatever, and just talk and like have a heart-to-heart conversation. You guys need to have that understanding and that vulnerability with each other, or it's never gonna fucking happen. So if this is your reading, you'll be one of those second options that I just said in my comments. Okay, that's done. All right, so that is really important. That's going to be the precipice of this reading. Now, the other things going on here, number one, you are being very patient. You're sitting in your patience, okay, which is great. You can feel that something is changing. You don't quite know what it is, but you feel it behind the scenes. All right, so while you're being patient, because right here you have Temperance with the Ace of Wands and the there we go, Page of Swords, right? So while you're being patient with this Temperance, you feel like this person is watching you, and they definitely are, but I feel like there's also other people that are watching you as well. And on top of that, you're feeling a lot of Kundalini awakening, okay? I know for sure I am. I actually just posted something about that today. So you're feeling a lot of sexual energy, all right? Again, this happens right before you come into reunion with your twin flame, because you are feeling them. So remember, you guys were like this. You're feeling them so intently in your energy. You guys don't realize that you're standing right next to each other. So as this person is coming back into your energy, your sexual desire and your sexual energy goes through the roof, which is a good thing. Just make sure you're handling it yourself, right? Don't be giving your vessel and your energy to someone that doesn't deserve it, right? Celibacy, I know it has a bad rap, but it's a good thing, okay? Because you don't want to just be given free nilly-willy to, whoever the fuck wants it, because that shows you have no self-worth and no boundaries, okay? Be as sexual as you want, but just do it yourself until someone comes along that matches that frequency, right? So you're feeling a lot of that right now. You're also feeling like there is a victory coming. You can't quite tell what it is, but you can feel it, all right? You're not meant to know what it is yet, because remember, you guys aren't looking at each other yet. You're not meant to know that, holy shit, they're right there. Nah, you can feel that they're right there, but you're not meant to see it quite yet, all right? You got to. This is where you're trusting your intuition and you're trusting how you feel. Trust that, okay? Which is good. And you're also taking time to rest, relax, just work on yourself, actually taking time to chill and relax, like I said, which is good. Now, you have also just closed out a cycle. And I feel like it was with someone that recently tried to re-enter your energy. This is not your counterpart, it's somebody else. And they tried to come back into your energy to offer you maybe a reconciliation, or maybe it was an estranged family member that came back in, or maybe it was an old friendship that didn't work out and this person came back in wanting to fix things. Whatever it is, they did offer to fix this, but intuitively you could feel that they were not at a point where they were ready to take accountability, 100%. There was still a little bit of blame, and there was still that little bit of like closed off energy. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here. So it was the Ten of Swords with the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So this is that ending that I just said, right? That happened before. Now, they tried to come back in, but you could still feel this energy off them. You were like, no. You were like, I appreciate it. Maybe you'll think about it, but you could feel that it intuitively wasn't it. And again, another catalyst that Spirit sent your way. They're like, here's somebody that has improved a little bit, but they're not on your frequency. Are you going to accept them back anyway? That was a test, okay? So if you said no, that I appreciate it, but if you want to come back into my life and my energy, you need to treat me 100% how I deserve. Not just 80, not just 90, 100%. Otherwise, I'm chilling by myself, all right? That's good. Now, another thing, you literally have the King of Cups clarified by the King of Cups and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like in the past, I feel like this is not the first time this person has come back around, whoever this other person is. And when they have come back in the past, you have been in more of a King of Cups energy versus the Empress. So meaning you had compassion for them, right? You had emotion for them. You understood where they were coming from. Now, because that was only a king energy and not a divine counterpart energy, you allowed them back into your life because you were like, 80% is pretty good. I guess I'll let them back in. That's very different to now, how we just said. Now you're like 100% or nothing, 100 or nothing, right? That's good. You see the evolution there with that? So again, Spirit sent you this catalyst again to show you, look how much you're growing and evolving. What you settled for before, you're no longer settling for. That's great. When you don't settle for things anymore in your life, that's when Spirit sends you what you truly want and what you truly deserve, which is a divine counterpart. That's good. Now, like I said here, you're also following your intuition. It's very strong right now, so you're probably being guided to do things that you normally would not do, which is good. Trust it, okay? Your logical mind doesn't need to make sense of it. Just trust it. And again, with the Six of Wands, so you feel that it's leading to this victory. You may not know how, but you know it is. And remember, this is what's happening. So every intuitive step you're taking, even though you can't see where you're going, you're just taking those steps and your person's doing the same thing. Look at you guys getting closer and closer without even realizing you're right here next to each other. Okay? The Lovers, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. You had some recent fear and doubt about your counterpart, about this connection. That always reaches a point in separation where counterparts go through this phase of doubt and this period of doubt where they're like, am I crazy? Is this even my divine counterpart? Am I fucking tapped? Like, what is this? You go through that point again right before you come into reunion because Spirit is testing you. They're like, do you need physical proof of something? Or do you trust Spirit and do you trust your intuition? Do you trust how you feel? Do you need physical proof? Are you still chasing external validation? Or do you trust your inner knowing? And if you say, you know what? I don't care how crazy it seems. I know this person is my counterpart. I feel it with every fiber of my being. My soul calls out to this person every second. I feel them. I know it. Doesn't matter if I see it physically. You know what I mean? I don't need external validation anymore. I don't need people around me to tell me that, wow, this is a great connection or this person's terrible for you. I don't need anyone to tell me anything because I know how I feel inside. And only counterparts know the bond they have with their counterpart. No one else can tell you. Family can't tell you. Friends can't tell you. Strangers can't tell you. I can't tell you. Twin flame guides can't tell you. No one can tell you whether or not someone is your twin flame. It's something that you know and that you feel. So you recently just got through this where you went, you know what? Fuck what everybody thinks, okay? And fuck what past me thought. In a loving way. You know, it's okay if you doubted that, but I know what this is. I've never felt anything like this in my life. This person is me, quite literally, reflected. I know this is my counterpart. I don't need any external validation. You passed that beautifully. Spirit's like, A++. You did great. I'm proud of you. All right, so you just closed out that cycle fucking beautifully. Now, the Emperor, the Eight of Cups, and the Fool. you feel like your counterpart over here, whoever is in masculine energy currently, again, gender means nothing. Doesn't fucking matter, okay? You could be a plant and this applies to you, all right? So you feel like your counterpart is walking away from that cycle, like we said, but you also feel like they're very hopeful for a new beginning. And that is true. They are very hopeful for a new beginning. Also, the Seven of Cups with the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles. So you feel like whatever they're walking away from, you almost feel like they're a little confused about it. Like how you were feeling with all the doubt that I just said of, is this my twin flame? Is this my counterpart? What if they say this? What if this person thinks that? You feel like they're in that energy. You feel like they don't have the self-confidence and the belief in themselves yet to stand up to the people around them, to be like, you know what? It doesn't matter what you say. I know this is my person, okay? It's not toxic. We just trigger things in each other because we've been through so much bullshit in our life. This relationship is not toxic. This person is not toxic, okay? They're actually looking at relationships around them that are like either married couples or couples around them and being like, if you want an example of toxic, here's toxic. Like, you guys are always fucking yelling at each other. You're always screaming. You're always doing this. Like, I never see you guys actually doing fucking cute things, whatever. They're starting to see through the people around them. They're being like, how did I let these people think that my connection was toxic at all? Like, I have a beautiful connection with my counterpart. We just have moments where our trauma goes to war with each other, but we've never abused each other. We don't fucking do any of that. We love each other. We just have these, these like trauma ridden things that come up, and sometimes we separate, sure, but they're looking at the relationships around them and being like, no wonder these people are trying to tell me that my relationship with my counterpart, meaning you, is toxic, because their relationships are actually toxic. They're unhappy in their own connections. So especially divine partnerships, twin flame connections are fucking beautiful. And a lot of people get envious and jealous about that. So they're going to be like, oh, whatever, that's toxic. Like, you shouldn't even be in that. That's actually jealousy and envy, okay? So they're actually looking at the people in their life going, wow, I listened to these people. And that could have been a point of contention between the two of you, is they listened to a lot of external opinions, and they were worried about what people would think, or they were worried about what people would say. That was also what led to the separation, right? On their end, because that was wounds and triggers on their end that they needed to heal. About being confident in standing in what they believe in, regardless of who says something, right? You gotta have that integrity within yourself. They're doing beautiful with that. So right now, you don't know that. You feel like this person still is, kind of not strong enough to do that, right? But they are. What you don't see, because remember, you're not seeing this, you're just standing here near each other. They are doing that. Let's move over to their side now. So we covered, that's everything going on your side, okay? Now, on their side, they are doing that. They're actually standing up to people around them and being like, you know what? No. And I just did a reading. I posted, I did it in my car. You'll know it's the one because I say, like, I'm half asleep, like it's 6 a.m. I should be going to bed. I just posted that on, I think it was the previous reading. Anyway, similar energy to this. So Two of Wands here, they know what they want. They have chosen their path. The Hierophant is here in the background. They're like, I want this commitment. I know this is my person. I know this is my twin flame. You see that? And I don't care what people have to say about it. All of these opinions. And yeah, there was heartbreak in our connection in the past, but it was never intentional. We never tried to hurt each other. It was just our triggers going to war with each other, and both of us ran away. That's what it is. You both ran away from the fucking connection because it was too intense at the time. You couldn't handle it in the moment. But it was never a toxic relationship. You guys never intentionally hurt each other. All you've done is love each other and be there for each other. And that's what they're seeing. They're like, I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say, okay? You're not aware that they're doing this yet, like we said, but they are standing up to the people around them. And look at this. You got the Magician, the King of Wands, and again with the Hierophant. They're coming after what they want. They have all the tools they need. With this Magician, they got everything. They got all 4 suits here. They're ready to create what they want, all right? And if you see, he's actually holding up one finger like that, like I was doing a second ago. So they are focused. They're starting to turn, right? They're here. They're starting to turn toward you. And they're like, you know what? This is my person. I want my person. And it's clarified, like we said, by the King of Wands and the Hierophant. They're very determined to come and have this commitment with you. And not just any commitment, the ultimate commitment. The Hierophant is the strongest and most significant commitment in the deck. So, remember how we said, because we had the Eight of Cups here with the Fool and the Emperor on your side. Okay, I'm actually just going to show you this to show that this is actually happening. So, this is your side. How you think that they are walking away from something and want this new beginning with you because they're in divine masculine energy now. And on their side, if you look at this, they have the Eight of Cups, again, also with the Emperor, and the only difference here is you have the Fool and they have the Seven of Swords. So you feel like they're taking this brand new leap of faith to be with you, and they are. And on their side, part of that is leaving this energy, the Seven of Swords, leaving this toxic bullshit in the past. These people around them that had the wrong intentions, all right? The people around them that were jealous, that were trying to sabotage the connection between the two of you because of their own jealousy and their own envy, all right? Especially if you guys were around each other. Like, if this is a whole... Remember we talked about before, people are talking about you. If this group of people talking about you, if you are all like a friend group, or if you are all coworkers, or if you all live together, you are roommates, whatever it is, these people were involved. So they are now leaving all of that shit in the past. Like, let's say they live with these people. They're like, you know what? I may live with you, but you're not going to dictate how I live my life. You know what I mean? Or if they work with these people, they'll be like, we're co-workers here. Like, you need to understand your boundaries when it comes to my personal life, right? I make the decisions I want for my life. You are not in my life. I am in my life. Or if they're friends, they're like, we may be close, but this is my life, okay? Just because you're jealous and you're alone, or you don't have someone like this, or you make stupid decisions in your life, doesn't mean that my relationship is toxic. You know what I mean? They're standing up to people. That's what I'm saying. Now, they also have the Five of Pentacles with the High Priestess and Justice. And you also had the High Priestess. And I saw... Oh, they had... Thirsty. They had Justice twice on their side. That tea is so good. They are really bringing in the... Yeah, the Justice, but there's another word I want. Retribution, maybe? They're really fixing the situation, okay? So, in the past, if they were someone, like we said, that really cared about what people think, and really, they maybe even chose those opinions over you out of fear, because they didn't want to lose the people connected to them in general, but also they weren't strong enough back then to stand up to the people around them, especially if they are close. But now it's the opposite. They're like, I don't care who I burn and cut out of my life, I'm getting my person back, because my person is the only one that's truly been there for me. They're probably looking at the relationships around them being like, you guys aren't even there to actually support me. Or maybe they're seeing these people's true colors come out, like we said. Like, you're not even actually supporting the people in your own life. You know what I mean? So, that's a message. Okay. They also have the King of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So, they're in their work life, they are unfulfilled. They are feeling like it's very mundane and very blah. Like, just whatever, now that you're not around. Like, I feel like when you were around... I'll show you here. When you were around, it was this Ace of Cups. It was fucking beautiful. It was this overflow, this beautiful energy. Now that you're not here, look at the work life. They're like, eh. Yeah, I'm making money, sure, like, but what the fuck is the point of money if I don't have someone to spend my life with? You know what I mean? Like, not that you need to spend your life with someone, but you know what I mean? Like, when you're in separation with your counterpart, you feel like something's missing. Like, this doesn't even look right. But then when you add in that missing piece, it's like, this makes sense. You know what I mean? So they're feeling like no matter how much money they're making, or, you know, how great work is going for them, it doesn't mean anything to them if they don't have their person by their side. You know, maybe you guys did work together in the past, and now that you're not working together anymore, this person just feels like what's the point? You know what I mean? That's how they're feeling. They're feeling just like, discontent and like, you know what I mean? They also have the Two of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles, again, about work. They just feel like, I feel like someone else in their job, subconsciously, they were hoping would fill the void of you not being there anymore. So, or you not, if you didn't work with this person, of just you not being in their life anymore. It looks like they turned to a water sign with that Knight of Cups. And they were hoping that this person would be like the new missing piece, but it's not even on the board. Like, it's just not even close. Like, they've subconsciously been searching for something to fill the void that they feel. And that's a lesson that counterparts go through, is you can't replace this connection. You can't, there's no replacing it. It's once in a quite literally once in a lifetime, right? Because you only have one divine counterpart per lifetime. And you have the same counterpart repeated through lifetimes in different incarnations and reincarnations. So there is quite literally no one like you, right? And vice versa for your person. There's no one like them for you. And it's a lesson that both counterparts learn, especially during separation, because they try to just move on, quote unquote, move on with their life, but there's always that lingering feeling. Like, spirit is always sending you messages about this person. They're always showing you that this person's meant to be in your life. But your ego, right, your triggered mind, is saying like, nah, fuck that, I don't need anyone. You know, and you're trying to dismiss it and run away from it still, but you can't. Because you twin flames are here for a higher purpose. You are quite literally here to serve spirit and serve humanity. So you can't do that if you're not with your counterpart. So spirit will always be guiding you to come back into connection with your counterpart, because there's a much higher purpose to it. Hiccup confirmation. Remember, twin flames aren't here. The point of twin flames is not physical union. Physical union is a bonus. All right? The actual purpose is your own growth, your own healing, your own soul evolution. And in turn, you guys coming into physical union to help uplift humanity and uplift others with that energy. That's the point. Union, like physical union with your twin flame, is just a bonus. All right? So your logical mind is like, I don't need that. I don't need physical union. I don't need that, whatever. But twin flames have a higher purpose. So calm your ego down and do your soul work, all right? And you'll come back into connection with your twin flame. If you guys are actually twin flames, all right? Don't mistake it for a soulmate, because soulmates are only in your life for a period, all right? They only align with you at a certain point in your life. Remember, soulmates do not grow with you. Soulmates are stagnant. So you may connect with a soulmate for a year. You guys are on the same. You may connect with a soulmate for a year. You guys are on the same level. But as you start to heal and elevate, this person's watching you, because they're not elevating, right? So they're kind of watching you like, where are you going? And you're just like, why do I feel like I don't align with this person anymore? That's the point. Soulmates do not grow with you. They stay, all right? They meet you, like, as you're, let's say you're growing, like you pass this soulmate and you're ascending further. Now, as you're ascending, you may match up with another soulmate here. So now you're matched up with another soulmate. But as you keep growing, they fade away. Right? Twin flames, you grow together. You're constantly equal. So as you grow, your twin flame grows. Always. If you struggle, your twin flame struggles. You see that? So if you're wishing all of these terrible things to happen to your twin flame, or if you're like, fuck this person, I don't need them, you're descending. You're actually pulling yourself down by feeling that way about your counterpart. If you're like, whatever, I don't want anything to do with them, it's going to send down your vibration, and it's going to drag you down. It's going to drag both of you down. And spirit's not going to fucking like that, because remember, twin flames are here to uplift humanity. So if you're in your ego pulling each other down, this is when spirit goes, separate. Heal your bullshit. Stop descending. Okay? Heal your shit so you can help raise the frequency again. All right? That's the point. So what I'm saying is there's no replacing this connection. There's no one like your twin flame for you, and there's no one like you for your twin flame. It's just, it is what it is. There's no greater option. However, personal choice still comes into play. So remember, physical union is a bonus. You do not need to be in physical union if you don't desire it. There are people that don't desire it. So they can be in twin flame union where they're incredibly close with their twin flame and doing their soul work, but they don't want to be in physical union. That's free will. You don't want to, you don't want to. You want to settle for a soulmate, you can settle for a soulmate. It will never match up to a twin flame connection. That's just fact. But it doesn't mean you can't be happy in something else. It's just a different type. It's just a different level of happiness. You know what I mean? Soulmate relationships are easier. Twin flame relationships take more work. They take actual growth and learning and healing. So if someone doesn't want to do that and they want to bypass it, sure. But your life is going to be fucking miserable because remember, Spirit's going to try to... You're here for a higher purpose. So if you're ignoring that higher purpose, you're going to get bad karma. It just is what it is. All right, my phone is at 15%, so I'm going to try to wrap this up, but long story short, your person is in an energy where they are finally ready to fight for this union, and not that they're actually going to have to fight for it, but you know what I mean. They're going to stand up to people around them and be like, you know what? If I want this person, I want this person. Who cares if there's an age difference? Who cares if we were raised differently? Or, you know, who cares what family and friends might say? Who gives a fuck? It's not about them anyway. So they're actually doing really good with that. They're in their masculine energy, meaning they don't give a fuck who says what. If they know what they want, they go after it. That's what you want. So let's pull some oracle to end this. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Divine Masculine on the bottom with the elk. So let's pull a couple of these and see what we get. I have this song stuck in my head. It's really good. If you know Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, it's a remix. I forget who it's by. I think it's called Seven Less Rings. It's really good. She's like, fuck your excuses, I don't need the drama. It's a catchy-ass song. It's good. And I feel like that's where your masculine's at. They're just like, fuck everybody around me that has an opinion. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what I want. Earthworm! I picked up an earthworm like 2 days ago, I think. So you could be seeing earthworms, especially if it's raining where you're at. I know it's raining here. I think it's raining right now. But with earthworm, you guys are tending the soil of your union, okay? So like I said, you may not see what's going on, but you know that the work that you're doing, the different pathways that you're creating, they're helping you and guiding you toward union. Let's pull another. That song is stuck in my head. Check it out. I know it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify. I mean, I don't have an iPhone, so maybe it's on Apple Music or something. Cobra and Vulture. So, like I said, look at that Kundalini popping up here. There's your sexual drive. I'm horny. You know what I mean? That's like your energy coming up at you. No pun intended. But anyway, that's what she said. Your sexual desire is going to be very heightened right now, but you're also shedding your old skin, okay? And cobras are fucking awesome. King cobras are amazing. They're also venomous. You don't fuck with it, right? So I feel like this is your masculine. This is them. They're ready. You know what I mean? They're standing up to the things in their life going, this is what I want. Do you really want to smoke with me? Do you really want to fuck with a king cobra? Like, king cobras will not just strike at you automatically. They're powerful as fuck. They're king cobras for a reason. You know what I mean? They can end you in a second with that bite and that venom. But they don't. They give you an opportunity to back away. They flare their hood, right? The king cobra hood. They flare their hood and say, I will fuck you up. But I don't want to, because I could break a fang. I could break a fang, right? Whoa, hello. Why are you zooming in? But I don't want to do that because that could jeopardize the cobra. They actually could die if they break a fang. So they're like, I don't want to fuck you up, but I could. All right, just leave me be. Give me my space. Let me do what I want to do. And we'll both go about our day. Right? That's your person right now. And then Vulture, this is Spirit. Look at this. Spirit's watching over you. Okay? A lot of times you may see that vultures are around, but you don't know what they're watching. If you don't know, like if you're not familiar, vultures have really good eyesight. They can see really far. And you don't know what they're looking at, but you know when a vulture is around, there's always a death happening, right? They're attracted to a decay. They feast on carrion, which is corpses, right? So they know where that's at. So spirit knows when a transition is happening. So let's say you are actually seeing physical vultures. It's because the death card, which is a transition, is occurring. Okay. Let's oh, my phone is dying quickly. Let me oh, I just saw a TikTok earlier about an owl too. So you may be seeing owls. It was an owl just like this. It got stuck on a barbed wire fence and the lady saved it. Fucking beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna pull one more before oh my god, my phone is dying. It's on 11 now. Buffalo! So you got a buffalo. Where did I just saw a buffalo. I saw a video earlier of a grizzly bear pulling like a buffalo had been eaten on one side because they're really fucking heavy. So buffalo had been eaten on one side and the grizzly bear gripped onto it and with the strength of its bite in its body flipped the bison over so it could eat the other side. And those things are massive. They're strong. So you could be seeing grizzly bears, but also with the bison, these are very intelligent animals. They're all about community and family as well. A lot of times if you see a buffalo herd, it's a family. So I feel like this is going to be the both of you. You guys are going to be meeting your soul family. You may already have one or two people that are meant to be part of your soul family when it comes to your higher purpose in life, but you're gonna be connecting and meeting more as you progress on this journey. Okay, my phone is at 9%. I gotta end this. So, raccoon on the bottom. Again, I saw a video the other day of raccoon. So you could be seeing a lot of animal references pop up. So especially if you have TikTok, you could be seeing a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna leave it there. Just kidding. These fell out. Panther. And dragon. Look at that. That's fucking cool. That's a divine feminine card right there, that panther. And then you got dragon. So you could be having dragon spirits coming in to help you as well. Fucking cool. So my phone is really dying. So I've been talking for a while. So I'm going to leave it there. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helped you. Like I said, I will be doing a part 2 of the twin flame common questions and situations and stuff. I'll be doing that soon. I'm putting that together. So I'll be doing that. In the meantime, I'm just doing these readings still. But yes, I am getting to that. And yeah, if you want a personal reading, you can reach out to me at esotericinsightyt@gmail.com. I think I usually put it in the description. I'll make sure I do that. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day. It is actually almost 1 a.m. right now. And I've been on a nocturnal schedule lately. It's just is what it is. So it just happens sometimes, you know. But yeah, all right. 7%. I have to go. Goodbye. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.